The file isn't supposed to exist. It's already on my desk when I arrive, centered perfectly, as if the room itself placed it there. Security logs show no entry overnight. The cameras loop static between 9:14 p.m. and dawn. That gap again. The folder is old. Manila, warped edges. Across the front, written in thick black marker, a single word. Continue. I've seen that word before. On the voicemail, IA warned me not to replay, the one that ended too abruptly, like the speaker realized something was listening. Inside the folder is a transcript. A 911 call pulled from a defunct Arizona county system. No case number, no officer listed. The caller sounds calm. Too calm. They say they're inside a motel off Route 66. They say the walls move when no one looks. The dispatcher asks for a room number. The caller pauses, then laughs quietly. There isn't one anymore. The call ends at 3:17 a.m. That time again. I flip the page and find a Polaroid. A motel hallway, beige carpet, flickering lights, identical doors stretching into darkness. Except the last door. It's open. The number plate has been ripped off. A symbol is carved into the wood. The same symbol from the Everett case. The one Mallory wouldn't explain before he vanished. On the back of the photo, 5 words are written softly. You already sent someone here. I didn't. At least I don't remember doing that. The motel name is buried in old zoning records. Red Hollow Motor Lodge. According to the state, it doesn't exist. According to missing persons files, 14 people vanished there. Different years, different reasons for travel. One pattern no one logged. One name stops me. Rachel Keene. She checked in 3 years ago. FBI jurisdiction. Case closed without a body. Her phone last pinged inside the motel at 3:16 a.m., 1 minute before the 911 call. Her file ends with a handwritten note clipped to the report. Do not reopen. I reopen it anyway. Zooming into the Polaroid, I notice a shadow inside the open room. It doesn't match the light angle. The longer I stare, the more it feels intentional. My phone vibrates. Unknown number. I answer without speaking. Breathing on the other end, slow, familiar. You weren't supposed to remember this part. It's Rachel's voice, not distorted, not imagined. Exact. I ask where she is. She ignores the question. When did you stop dreaming about the hallway? She asks. The call ends. No record, no duration, no number, but my voicemail icon blinks. 9 seconds. Just static and a low hum, like a building breathing. Then a knock, 3 taps, slow, precise. My office door is open now, it wasn't before. The carpet outside is wet, as if rain fell indoors. That night, I dream of the hallway. I know it without knowing how. The lights flicker in a rhythm that feels deliberate. None of the doors have numbers. At the end, one door stands open. Inside, someone sits on the bed wearing an FBI jacket. When they turn around, it's me. I wake up at 3:17 a.m. My phone is ringing. A sheriff from northern Arizona says a motel appeared overnight off Route 66. No permits, no owner, no records. One room is occupied. They found a badge inside. My badge. Before hanging up, the sheriff lowers his voice. There's no body, he says. Just a camera. It's been recording. It's labeled Part 2. The line goes dead. Somewhere a door without a number opens again. And this time, it knows I'm coming. The motel shouldn't be there. Satellite images from the night before show empty desert. By morning, Red Hollow Motor Lodge sits beside Route 66 like it's always belonged. Parking lot cracked, vacancy sign buzzing. Curtains drawn in every window except one. Room without a number. The sheriff waits outside, refusing to cross the threshold. He keeps glancing at the sky like he expects it to blink. His deputies won't look directly at the building. They say the air feels wrong. Inside, the lobby smells of dust and cold iron. The guest book is open on the counter. Names fill the pages in different handwriting, different decades. Some names are scratched out, some are written twice. I find Rachel Keene's name halfway down a page dated 3 years in the future. The key for the occupied room rests beside the book. No tag, no number, just a strip of metal warm to the touch. The hallway is longer than the building should allow. Doors repeat. Carpet damp again. That breathing hum sits just under hearing, like pressure in the ears. The open room waits at the end. Inside, a single chair faces the wall. a camera mounted above it, red light blinking. The footage is still recording. On the screen, I watch myself enter the room from another angle. I don't remember doing this. I don't remember sitting down. On screen, me looks tired. Older. He leans toward the camera and whispers something. The audio is corrupted, but subtitles flicker into place. You asked us to keep it. The timestamp reads tomorrow. I pull the camera down. Behind it, carved into the wall, are tally marks. Dozens of them. Some crossed out violently. Each crossed set matches a missing person case tied to the motel. Rachel's marks aren't crossed. Her voice comes from the bathroom. She asks if I finally read the file all the way through. She steps into the doorway, unchanged. Same jacket, same scar on her chin. No sign of decay, no sign of relief. She tells me the motel doesn't kill people. It keeps versions. She says investigations like mine create echoes. That I kept coming back. That each visit made the hallway longer. I tell her she's dead. She smiles like that answer is outdated. She asks what I promised them the first time. I don't answer because I don't know. Outside, the sheriff radios for backup. Static answers him. Then breathing. Every door in the hallway opens at once. Inside each room, someone stands facing the wall. Some wear uniforms, some wear motel robes. One wears my clothes. Rachel presses the key into my hand. They're running out of space, she says. So are you. The lights cut out. In the dark, something moves closer, slow and deliberate, counting footsteps like it knows exactly how far away I am. When the lights return, Rachel is gone. The chair is empty, but the camera is still recording, and the red light has turned green. Time stops behaving first. Clocks in the motel run forward, then backward, then settle on the same minute no matter how long I watch. My watch buzzes with alerts from yesterday. Tomorrow, 5 years ago. Every notification is marked sent by me. The hallway changes when I'm not looking. Doors, trade places, carpet dries, then soaks again. The buzzing vacancy sign outside bleeds through the walls like tinnitus. I start recording notes on my phone. Playback reveals a second voice underneath mine, correcting details before I say them. It knows what I'll forget. I find a room filled with caseboards, photos pinned in tight grids, faces of victims, witnesses, agents. Red string forms loops instead of connections. At the center is my photo. Multiple versions, different ages, different injuries. Some photos are marked closed, others say pending. One says current. Rachel's handwriting labels the board. Iteration log. She appears beside me without warning, holding a stack of motel towels folded too neatly to be comforting. She tells me none of the versions lasted long enough to finish. I ask what happens when they fail. She points to a door I don't remember seeing. Inside, a man sits strapped to the chair, eyes open, mouth moving silently. His reflection in the mirror behind him speaks instead. It thanks me for building the system. Says the motel needed someone who believed in patterns. I recognize the man. He's an FBI analyst, reported missing in Nevada in 2014. His case file was stamped, transferred, instead of closed. Rachel says I argued for that wording. The motel shakes. Somewhere, something heavy shifts position, like furniture being dragged across concrete. She tells me the motel isn't haunted. It's iterative. A place that tests outcomes until one survives long enough to understand it. She asks if I remember the call that started everything, the one from a payphone that rang after I picked it up. I don't. But my phone rings anyway. Caller ID reads, room service, I answer. My own voice asks if I'm ready to check out. The floor plan on the wall redraws itself. One exit vanishes, another leads back to the lobby. The tally marks on the walls begin to erase themselves, slowly, like something is undoing decisions. Rachel's mark disappears. Then mine starts forming. She grabs my arm, urgent now. She says the motel only lets one version leave. And it won't be the one asking questions. The lights flicker, doors slam, the hum rises to a scream just below hearing. On the far wall, the camera's green light turns red again. Recording resumes. I feel the key grow heavier in my pocket, like it's rooting itself into me. Rachel whispers that this is where it always breaks. I ask her what happens if I don't sit in the chair. She looks past me, terrified, and says I already did. The chair is warmer than it should be, leather cracked, armrests polished by hands that didn't want to be there. When I sit, the restraints rise on their own, not tight, considerate. Like the motel wants me comfortable for what comes next. The mirror across from me doesn't show the room. It shows a corridor I recognize from surveillance footage that was never released. Hallway C. The one that never existed on blueprints. In the reflection, I'm standing, not seated. Older, thinner, watching myself. He smiles before I do. The system hum deepens, settling into a rhythm that matches my pulse. Screens flicker alive on the walls. Case files scroll by, redacted names replaced with timestamps. Each timestamp corresponds to a disappearance. Rachel's voice comes through the intercom, fractured, layered with delay. She says the motel isn't choosing a survivor, it's choosing a narrator. She tells me the version of me that understands the rules gets archived. The one that resists gets recycled. That's why the FBI never shut it down. Too useful, too clean. The chair tightens as if agreeing. Footage plays. Me, years ago, pitching a containment theory to a task force that doesn't officially exist. I talk about environments that observe back. Places that refine behavior by erasing failure. Someone asks what happens to the failures. I say, they become infrastructure. The motel lights dim, proud. I hear movement in the hallway. Not footsteps. Rearrangement. Walls sliding. Doors trading memories. The motel preparing for the next version. Rachel appears in the mirror now, standing behind the other me. She looks relieved. That scares me more than fear ever could. She says, "This is where I usually accept it." I ask what happens if I don't. The other me answers instead. Then the story ends badly for the audience. The restraints unlock. The chair waits. I stand, ignoring the pull, the certainty pressing against my spine. The mirror image frowns, the screens stutter. The motel doesn't like improvisation. I move toward the lobby. Every step erases something behind me. Names fade from boards, faces blur. A woman's laughter cuts off mid-frame, the cost of deviation. At the front desk, the ledger lies open. No names, just episode numbers. I understand now. Every case we covered, every video, every cliffhanger. Field reports disguised as entertainment. Viewers feeding the pattern with attention. The motel learned faster that way. I close the ledger. The lights go out. For a moment, there is nothing. No hum, no reflection, no watcher. Then my phone vibrates. A notification uploads itself. Episode status. Published. The motel exhales, disappointed but patient. Outside, dawn breaks over the highway. The sign flickers. Vacancy rearranges itself into something else before settling back. I walk away without turning around. Behind me, a payphone rings. It keeps ringing. If you're still listening, if you think you followed every thread, stay with this. Subscribe now. Because the next call doesn't come from the motel. It comes from a place the FBI buried deeper. As I reach the road, my phone buzzes again. A new message, no sender, just coordinates, and a single line beneath them. Room 27 was never the first.